CR 2297A, the State of Ohio versus Camden Burch, and 2024 CR 2297B, the State of Ohio versus Beau. Before this proceeding begins, the court will note that a decorum order was issued by the court today for the purpose of maintaining security during all proceedings in these matters. Copies have been given to all counsel, the front screening area of the courthouse, and one has been posted on the door to this courtroom. The court expects that all individuals abide by this order. As set forth in the order, any behavior that may disrupt these proceedings will not be tolerated. Additionally, as there may be other proceedings taking place outside of this courtroom but in the courthouse, the court orders that the decorum order applies in all areas inside of the courthouse. If there is anyone here present who believes that they will not be able to comply with these orders, please exit the courtroom and the courthouse at this time. Indictments setting forth a count of reckless homicide in violation of Revised Code Section 2903.041A(b), felony of the third degree, were filed in each of these cases on November 1st, 2024. And warrants were served upon the defendants on the same date. As the indictments were secret indictments issued by the grand jury, no bond has been set in either case. The defendants have been at the Stark County Jail since November 1st of 2024. The purpose of today's hearing is to consider a bond in each case. At this time, the court will ask all parties to identify themselves for the record and their client in the case of the defense.
Kyle Stone for the state.
Eugene O'Byrne, Your Honor, for Camden Burch. We'd also formally waive his appearance at the hearing today, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ty Graham on behalf of Officer Burch and Schoenegge, and I would likewise waive his appearance for today's purposes.
And for the record, counsel, have you had the opportunity to discuss with your clients their rights to appear at today's hearing?
We have.
And they have given you the authority to waive their presence and such?
Yes, ma'am.
They have.
Very good. In accordance with Article 1, Section 10A of the Ohio Constitution, Attorney Stone, have the victim's family or the representatives been notified of today's hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And are they present? And if you could identify them for the record.
Attorney Bobby DiCello for the family of Frank Tyson, and with me, John Tyson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On behalf of the State of Ohio, Attorney Stone, at this time, you may set forth any arguments with respect to your position on bond.
Yes, Your Honor. At this time, the state of Ohio just requests that Mr. Burch and Mr. Schoenegge be given the standard bond for a felony 3 crime of violence. Thank you, Your Honor.
Court further finds that Article 1, Section 10A of the Ohio Constitution provides the victim's family and representatives the opportunity to be heard in any public proceeding involving release. At this time, Mr. Stone, do you know if the victim's family or representatives wish to be heard?
At this time, Your Honor. Attorney.
And if, for the record, if you could just
Yes.
say and spell your name for us.
Sure. At the podium?
Please.
Okay. Attorney Bobby DiCello for the family of Frank Tyson. It's bar number 007-2020. Your Honor, you face a very daunting and awesome responsibility today, to be fair. I talked with Mr. Stone about the family's wish, and it is singularly that you be fair. We'll leave the court to decide what the bond should be. We would ask that the presence of over 50 law enforcement officers gathered here today not influence in any way that decision. In my years as a prosecutor, And in my years in the courts, I've never seen what I'm seeing today, and it's concerning that the presence, the concept of presence is being used in this way. It's taxpayers are paying for these officers to be here. While we support their right to do what they're doing to support their officers, we just implore the court to use the same fairness that it would use in every other case. Thank you.
Mr. O'Byrne, on behalf of Mr. Burch.
Thanks, Your Honor. On behalf of Camden, Your Honor, we'd ask the court to set the bond at the felony 3 level. My understanding in reading the code is it's not an offense of violence, so we'd ask the court to consider that. Mr. Graham, Attorney Graham and I have discussed that. It's an expungable offense. And being in front of this court for a number of years, we know the court will be fair, but we would ask the court for that bond that was agreed upon. Thanks, Your Honor.
Mr. Graham, on behalf of Mr. Schoenegge.
Your Honor, we would likewise just ask that a bond be set in accordance with the schedule. I believe that is $25,000, 10%, and we really have nothing further to add at this time.
Article 1, Section 9 of the Ohio Constitution provides that where a person is charged with any offense for which the person may be incarcerated, the court may determine at any time the type, amount, and conditions of bail. When determining the amount of bail, the court shall consider public safety, including the seriousness of the offense and the person's criminal record, the likelihood a person will return to court, and any other factor that the General Assembly may prescribe. Revised Code Section 2937.011 of the Ohio Revised Code provides that any financial conditions of release shall be related to public safety, the defendant's risk of non-appearance in court, the seriousness of the offense, and the previous criminal record of the defendant. In consideration of the aforementioned, the court finds that the established bond, traditional for Stark County, of $25,000 to be in accordance with those factors. The court sets the bond in each case at $25,000, 10% of cash surety. Further, should the defendants post the established bond in this case, each shall be subject to pretrial release supervision. Mr. Stone, anything further on behalf of the state of Ohio?
No, Your Honor, not at this time.
Mr. O'Byrne?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Graham?
No, thank you.
The next scheduled matter in this case is arraignment set for November 8th, 2024 at 8:30 a.m. A pretrial will thereafter be scheduled. Anything further?
Thanks, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Counsel, if you could just